Time for a fresh start, and nothing says stealth like a sleek new look. I ditched the heat and the horsepower of the Porsche Turbo S and jumped back into my trusted Lotus Elise, but not before giving it a complete visual overhaul. New paint, fresh rims, and a whole new identity to throw the cops off my tail. From heat level 3 straight down to 1. Now it's time to race clean, hit hard, and make Ronnie and Bull look like yesterday's news. Let's fire up episode 16. Alright, folks, buckle up, because we are officially in the endgame of Need for Speed, Most Wanted, 2005. This toll booth race might look like just another checkpoint dash, but in reality, it's one of the final hurdles in a series that's been nothing short of legendary. From getting our BMW M3 GTR stolen by that walking L haircut raiser, to clawing our way up the blacklist with raw skill, no nitrous, and pure determination, it's been a wild ride. And now here we are, flying through Rockport streets with time ticking down, checkpoint to checkpoint, like a countdown to glory. The roads are faster, the corners sharper, the traffic thicker, and the margin for error? Basically zero. The game knows you're close to the top, so it throws everything at you. This isn't just about making time anymore. It's about proving that everything we've done till now wasn't luck, it was earned. And hey, don't forget, we're almost at the ultimate showdown. That moment where we face off against Razor, snatch back what's rightfully ours, and drive that beautiful M3 back home like a legend. So yeah, enjoy these toll booth runs while they last. Because every checkpoint we smash through now, that's one step closer to the final, iconic showdown. This isn't just a race, it's the calm before the storm. Alright, it's time for a pure no-holds-barred sprint race, and let me tell you, at this stage of Need for Speed, Most Wanted, 2005, the game doesn't give out wins like candy anymore. The opponents are sharper, the roads are deadlier, and the traffic? Oh, it's like Rockport decided to host a parade exactly when I'm trying to win a street race. This sprint isn't just about speed, it's about razor-sharp precision and ruthless aggression. There's no room for mercy. The opponents... One guy's probably driving like he just bought his car 5 minutes ago and read the manual while racing. Another is treating traffic like it's optional. And me? I'm out here in my Lotus Elise, focused, deadly, and with more grip than a desperate YouTuber chasing views. Every corner is a gamble, every overtake is a risk, and the finish line? That's my invitation to the big leagues. At this point, one mistake could send everything tumbling down, but that's what makes this sprint so damn exhilarating. Because when you're this close to the top, every second counts, and I'm not wasting a single one.
Attention City District.
Alright, buckle up, it's speed trap time, and this isn't just about crossing the finish line first. Oh no, this is a brutal battle of who can hit the highest speed at every trap and still keep their car from becoming a hood ornament on someone's delivery van. We're racing through the heart of Rockport, where the cops are itching to pounce, the AI racers are driving like they drank rocket fuel, and the traffic is basically a demolition derby waiting to happen. This race rewards speed, but it punishes mistakes. One wrong move and you're handing victory to a guy who thinks downshifting means turning down the radio. Let's throw in some facts. Speed trap races were a brand new addition in NFS, Most Wanted, 2005, designed to break the monotony of standard circuit and sprint races. Instead of focusing only on position, you have to keep your average speed high across multiple traps, which adds a layer of strategy. Brake too early, you lose points. Go too fast into a corner? Hello, guardrail. And don't forget, this mode doesn't care how stylish your car looks if it's crawling through a trap at 50 miles per hour. But my Lotus Elise, she's built for this. light, nimble, and packing just enough raw power to blitz through these traps while still weaving through traffic like I've got cheat codes on. Bottom line, these fools better hope they catch me in the mirrors, because they'll never see me at the traps. And we're diving right back into the chaos with another speed trap race, where your throttle discipline is tested harder than a pop quiz in quantum physics. This isn't about finesse, this is about raw speed, split-second timing, and the unrelenting will to destroy every radar gun in your path. We're deep into the blacklist now, which means the game isn't pulling punches. The traffic, thicker than ever. The turns, tighter. And the pressure, maxed out. One slip, one crash, one moment of hesitation, and boom, you're watching some no-talent NPC walk off with the win while you're spinning out next to a pizza delivery van. Let's drop some new facts while we burn rubber. In Need for Speed, Most Wanted, 2005, AI opponents adapt to your performance, meaning if you're doing well, they drive harder. Combine that with the dynamic weather effects and rubber banding AI mechanics, and you've got yourself a recipe for frustration or greatness, depending on whether your name's in the rear view or the leaderboard. And here's a nugget for the NFS nerds. These races are coded to prioritize trap scores over track times. So yes, you can cross the finish line first and still lose if your top speeds weren't high enough. Savage, right? But not today. I didn't max out the Lotus Elise just to play tag with radar guns. I'm here to break records, embarrass opponents, and leave behind a vapor trail of shattered egos. So to my opponents, may your speed be average and your dreams be slow. Another toll booth race? Oh, you already know the drill. Time attacks that don't forgive, traffic that doesn't care, and checkpoints that seem farther apart the faster you go. This is a test of pure pace, razor-sharp focus, and split-second decisions, all wrapped into one chaotic sprint. We're nearing the top of the blacklist, and every race feels like a final exam with no study guide. The game throws more civilian traffic, trickier turns, and tighter time limits the closer you get to Razor, and this toll booth is no exception. One late break or botched corner, and you're restarting with the controller clenched tighter than your last exam paper. Let's throw in a little trivia. Need for Speed, Most Wanted, 2005, introduced dynamic audio cues in toll booth races. The music intensifies the closer you get to a checkpoint or when you're running out of time, which messes with your head just enough to make you panic late on that final corner. And in case you didn't notice, the toll booth events are a reminder that you're racing against time itself, not just AI. No shortcuts, no slipstreaming, just you, your machine, and a digital clock that doesn't care about your excuses. But I've got my Lotus Elise tuned and ready, lightweight, agile, and angry. Let's turn that clock into a countdown to domination.
I'm closing in on it. Stand by. It's 10-4, go ahead. This guy's definitely high risk. I guess you use some backup here. 10-4, Delta 16. Detailing units now. SVCB. Stand by. Officers on the pursuit call. Suspect vehicle. Dispatch, code 6 party located. Reinitiating pursuit. We're currently eastbound on Highway 201. Let's get containment going. I lost the target. This is Charlie 29. I got the east side. Can you get members on the west side to close right me on the gap? Dispatch, System 27, can you update info on file? My screen just went down. I just lost everything.
Yeah, this is Charlie 24. That check came up positive. We're bringing this guy in. Can you give us a cover unit? He's giving us some trouble here. Suspect.
Dispatch, suspect at large on view. Initiating code 3 pursuit. Delta 16, update when you can. No sign of stopping. Alert launch commander to advise if necessary. That was him. I'm on it. I'm in pursuit. He's pulling away. I'm working to stay with him. Suspect is VCP. I'm trying to locate the vehicle. Stand by. I got him. Get everybody over here.
advised, suspect was last seen heading southbound through the Camden Tunnel. Quadrant has been authorized. Additional units will be provided in detail to the perimeter. Stay tuned for updates.
Roger that, dispatch. This is Charlie 29. I have 2 units with me. We'll form the box on the south side.
Yeah, this is Charlie 24. Can you confirm reports of a possible hit and run in the area? Our code 6 may still be around.
Alright, it's time for another all-out sprint race. No laps, no mercy. Just one wild dash from point A to point B through city chaos, winding freeways, and enough traffic to make your horn break from stress. Here's a fact bomb. Sprint races in Most Wanted are infamous for rubber banding AI. They'll magically catch up no matter how perfect your run is. That's why you gotta push your car to its absolute edge and still drive smarter than the code itself. And did you know? The game's route design in sprint races was praised for its variety, combining tight urban zones, sweeping hills, industrial yards, and even bridge jumps into one flowing course. You never really learn a sprint route. You survive it. But don't worry. My Lotus Elise is light, fast, and furious in a way that no movie sequel ever captured. These fools may have horsepower, but I've got reflexes and revenge on my side. Let's leave their bumpers in the dust and their pride at the starting line. Another sprint race. Oh, you already know, this is Need for Speed. Most Wanted turning up the heat one last time before the final burn. This isn't just a race, it's a reminder. A reminder to every blacklist punk who thought they could stop me. A reminder to Razor that I'm coming for that M3 GTR. And a reminder to these wannabe racers in today's lineup that style without skill is just decoration. Let's talk facts while I burn past them. Sprint races in Most Wanted are known for their unpredictability, sharp turns, sudden traffic, split-second shortcuts. It's all about precision under pressure. Miss a corner, you're done. Hit a truck, say goodnight. And here's something you may not know. The developers at EA Black Box actually mapped many of these routes based on real-life traffic patterns and city layouts. That's why even AI traffic sometimes behaves like actual morning commuters. Unpredictable, annoying, and always in your lane. But I'm not worried. My Lotus Elise isn't just a car, it's a weapon, forged in heat, speed, and disrespect for traffic laws. While they struggle to keep up, I'm out here carving a path to destiny. So buckle up, folks, because when this sprint ends, someone's ego's going to need a tow truck. Another sprint race, another lineup of hopeless dreamers standing in my way, and once again, I'm here to crush those dreams at 200 kilometers per hour. Let me remind everyone, sprint races in Need for Speed, most wanted, are pure adrenaline. No laps, no second chances. Just you, the road, and your reflexes. These races test more than just speed. They push your reaction time, your route knowledge, and your ability to swerve through traffic like a caffeine-fueled taxi driver in downtown Rockport. And here's a fun fact. Need for Speed, Most Wanted was the first in the franchise to blend full cinematic police pursuits seamlessly into sprint races. That's why you'll often find yourself dodging spike strips while trying to win the race. It's chaos, and I love it. My Lotus Elise is slicing through the city like a scalpel. Every turn, every near miss, every perfectly timed shortcut is just another signature on my application for Blacklist number 1. These pretenders, they're just highlights on my victory reel. Time to dust them.
My dashboard just lit up. Yeah, I have a problem. Yeah, PC down. I'm dropping out. I lost sight of him. Here we go. Stand by.
Represent speeder call. Suspect in view. I'm pulling up on him now. He's taking off, going 3 chase. Stand by.
Yeah, cancel that. He's right in front of me.
To Echo 13. Please update us when you can.
Yeah, major property damage over here. We need to watch him there to monitor.
1033, he just entered the station. He's cutting through the lot. We got a unit just went down. I can't see him. Lost sight of the vehicle. Get units standing by. We're going to have to set up a quadrant. I'm going to need containment. The vehicle got away.
Alright, buckle up, because this is it. The final toll booth race. The last checkpoint before we hit the ultimate showdown. Everything, and I mean everything, has led to this moment. From blacklist number 15 to blacklist number 2, we've smoked every pretender, every poser, and every overly confident punk that stood in our way. Now, there's just one name left to erase from the list. Razor. But before we put him in the ground where his reputation belongs, let's take a moment to honor the game that made it all possible. Need for Speed. Most Wanted isn't just a racing game, it's a legendary moment in gaming history. Developed by EA Black Box, this title hit the scene back in 2005, blending underground street racing with high-stakes police chases and a cinematic storyline that still slaps nearly 2 decades later. And get this, they used real-life vehicle data to simulate handling physics, which, for its time, was way ahead of the curve. It was also one of the first racers to combine a proper open-world environment with a structured career ladder, making you feel like you're climbing from zero to legend. But here's something even more interesting. The Blacklist racers were designed as caricatures of real street racing stereotypes. From smug tuners to musclehead meatballs, each one meant to push your buttons. And Razor. Razor was deliberately written to be the most punchable face in gaming. He's cocky, overconfident, and backed his way into the top spot by sabotaging your car and rigging your downfall. Without cheating, he'd still be parked at the bottom of the list, spinning out in a Civic. Let's talk about this guy for a second. Razor's the kind of dude who adds flames to his car thinking it makes him go faster. The kind of guy who flexes in front of a mirror more than he checks his rear view. His sunglasses haven't left his face since 2004, and his ego enters the race 5 minutes before his car does. He's not a racer. He's a fluke with a head start. And now, he's terrified. He knows I'm coming. He knows the Elise is prepped, the Turbo S is tuned, and I've been chewing through the blacklist like a wood chipper through driftwood. The heat's rising, the stakes are maxed out, and this final toll booth race? It's the calm before the storm. You see, Razor took my BMW M3 GTR and thought that was the end of the story. What he didn't realize is, that car wasn't my power. I was. And now that I've climbed back up the ranks, without cheating, without nitrous, and without mercy, Razor's reign is done. So here's to the toll booth. One last chance to shred the pavement before I rip Razor's pride in half and take back what's mine. And before we go, here's one last joke for our dear soon-to-be-forgotten blacklist number 1. What do you call a racer who steals your car, cheats to the top, and still gets smoked? You call him Razor. But after this race, you'll just call him retired. Let's end this. This is it. The final step before I knock Razor off his stolen throne. One last milestone. One last chaotic dance with the cops. And for that, I'm bringing out the Porsche Turbo S. Because when it's time to burn the city down, you bring the flamethrower, not the candle. Let's lay it out. 35 police cars need to be tagged. That's not a chase, that's a demolition derby. A full-on, no-holds-barred slugfest on the open streets of Rockport. Then we've got to stack up 850,000 bounty points, which means we're not just dodging cops, we're baiting them. And finally, a 13-minute pursuit. That's not just about running, that's about endurance, awareness, and a car that can handle pressure like a champion. And you know what? This Turbo S, it's a symphony of speed and precision. A machine forged in Stuttgart, tuned for the track, and now baptized in the fires of Rockport's chaos. It's sleek, it's savage, and it's about to leave tire marks on every inch of this city. But don't get it twisted, this isn't just another milestone run. This is a statement, a warning, to Razor, to Cross, to every cop, racer, and blacklist reject who thought I wouldn't climb back up. Because I did, one wheel spin at a time, without nitrous, without shortcuts, and without mercy. You think I'm just here to escape the cops? No, I'm here to humiliate them. I'll drag half the RPD across the map, slam roadblocks, crush SUVs, and turn their Crown Vics into scrap metal souvenirs. And spike strips? Please. I'll dance through them like it's a game of hopscotch. But here's the real beauty of this moment. Every second of that 13-minute pursuit is fuel. Fuel for the fire I'm lighting under Razor. He's sitting there, polishing a car that was never his, acting like the king of the streets, while I'm out here fighting a war with half the police force and still winning. And when I'm done, when I've tagged those 35 patrols, stacked that 850K bounty, and escaped that pressure cooker of a chase, I'm not just challenging Razor, I'm executing a sentence. Because once this milestone is done, there's nothing left between me and him. No more barriers. No more blacklist. Just me, the Elise, and the one racer who thought cheating his way to the top would keep him there. Spoiler alert, Razor. The bottom's a lot closer than you think. Let's light it up.
dispatch. Let's see if we can get him to go to ground.
Units on the pursuit.
I found him. We're code 3. This is Charlie 29. Road up ahead is blocked off.
And just like that, the city falls silent. The sirens have faded, the smoke has cleared, and the road behind me is littered with the wreckage of every squad car foolish enough to stand in my way. The final milestone is done. Every challenge, every pursuit, every blackout moment of chaos, conquered. But this isn't the end. This was the calm before the storm. Because in the next episode, I'm coming for Razor, the man who stole my ride. The man who rigged the game. The man who ran from the truth. His time is up, and my BMW M3 GTR is waiting, hungry to come home. So rest up, Razor. Polish that car, rehearse those excuses, and enjoy your last few moments at the top. Because when I come for you, I'm not just taking back my car. I'm ending your legacy. The final showdown begins next time. Be there. And if you're ready to witness the fall of Razor, like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss the final episode.